Hello everybody and welcome to this new video from Bikotic. It's the new 2023 Scott Foil RC released yesterday. I thought we could have a quick look at it. So today's video is coming to you from the Bikotic website, bikotic.com. Feel free to come and have a look. Check out a bunch of Aero bikes, click the search button, bike type Aero, get the bikes, and then you've got various ways of sorting them and setting price ranges. Alternatively, my crib sheet for this video is up here. Select the video and then any of the bikes that I compare, you'll be able to load them both up. Right now that's only working in the desktop version. The mobile version is a bit more basic. So to kick off, here's the Scott Foil Premium from 2020. Bit of a livid blue and purple colour, and then if we fade through to the 2022 version, we had a slight update hiding away the cables. Apart from that, fading between the two, other than the updated Dura Ace group set, it's all pretty similar. Okay, so let's fade through from the 2022 version through to the new 2023 version. Here it is. Fading back and forth, we can see quite a few changes. It's quite a radical change up this time. Starting up the front, the whole head tube area is thickened up. Stems changed a bit. Much beefier forks. Got rid of our little fin at the bottom on the old forks. The bottom brackets come down. If I just click the comparison button and then just check the stats there, yeah, bottom bracket has dropped a wee bit. Chainstays are a bit longer. Apart from that, all very similar. So the big radical shake up is clearly around the back end here. The seat tube has clearly been sculpted around the back wheel. Seat stays are even lower and thicker and presumably more aero. So clearly a bit sort of 3T Cervelo. We'll actually have a look at the Cervelo in a second. But the other change up is the new fancy dancy seat post, and the actual structural part of the seat post is this thin bit here. So this is like a rubber insert, I think. I think you can get that with a light in it as well. So there we go. You can also get the ultimate version, which is this stealth black colour. There's a few other versions as well that I haven't loaded up yet. Comes with the Zip 454 NSW wheels and is 100 grams lighter. But expect this to be quite a lot more expensive because it's made of HMX SL carbon as opposed to the just HMX of the Pro. Much like the old versions. And what if we compare this to the Addict RC bike that I own myself? I own the Addict RC 30. Fading through, here's the RC Ultimate, top of the range. And there is a big distinction between these two bikes. Definitely beefed up in the aero department. More of a lightweight climbing bike. Both got the integrated cables. Both pretty cool looking bikes. So let's compare it to some other bikes. If you hit the search button, bike type Aero, let's sort by geometry formula. We don't have any pricing for these Scotts yet, and if we do that we get 36 bikes up. And if you've watched any of my other videos, you'll know about the Hummingbird versus Albatross geometry formula. The Giant Propel coming in as the most Hummingbird in this group of bikes. And if we scroll down, the 2023 foils are coming in down here, the 2022 version up here. So they would appear to have been relaxed a little bit, which is quite interesting. I'll maybe dive into the geometry specs a bit more in another video, but for now, how about we compare it to the mock-up I made of the new Madone from Trek, and if we fade the two like that, that's quite interesting, isn't it? Definitely got some synergy going on here on the down tube and around the top of the fork here. Interesting. The other thing of note is the placement of the water bottles on the Trek on this massive bottom bracket area. And they've done quite a similar thing with the Scott look. It's all in the name of Aero, I guess. So that was a quick look at the Madone, which actually I think is being released today. Have to wait and see. So what about the Cervelo S5? Let's fade through to that. And here's the bike that feels like some of the design cues have come from for the back end of the new Scott. Fading between the two. They've brought these seat stays down much lower, so it is quite similar, but more radical even. Totally different at the front end, no similarities there. So that's the Cervelo S5. Now the next bike I wanted to show it next to is this one, the Ribble SLR Hero. Unfortunately, this is the best photo I've got of this bike. I have contacted Ribble many times and they keep saying that they will send me some decent pictures, but so far they haven't, which is a shame. But that's comparing between the two there. I saw one of these in the flesh the other day and it actually looks pretty cool, I thought. So that's the Ribble. What about the Cannondale SystemSix? Fading between the two. I've always found the front of this bike a bit weird. And we just fade back and forth. Definitely prefer the Scott, I think. At the front there, massive Aero seat tube here. Quite similar on the seat stays where they come down. So that's the Cannondale. What about the Aeroad? Lots of people talking about how the seat post is very similar between the new Scott and the Aeroad. Fading between the two. Scott, similar but a lot more beefy than the Aeroad up the front here. The Aeroad forks now look quite skinny in comparison to the new foil forks. Look at that. A little bit of similarity at the back. And with regard to this seat post, well, you can't really see it on the Canyon one because they've sort of smoothed it all in. But at least the foil doesn't have to have this little plastic sock on it. Well, we're assuming it's going to be okay and not have the same problems that they've had on the Aeroad. Fingers crossed, because I definitely don't like that thing. And it's funny, when you look at this bike, you think, yeah, that is a chunky Aero bike. But if you compare it to the Speedmax, the Canyon Speedmax time trial bike, or triathlon bike, you see how far we can go with the aerodynamics. I mean, look at that. That is a chunky monster. And what about one of my old favourites, the Specialized Venge? The poor old Venge got discontinued by Specialized. I still think it's a shame. Great looking bike. Comparing between the two, you can see how the down tube on the Venge is quite close to the front wheel. Scott has moved that up. I think they've discovered that moving that away from the front wheel is actually more aero. There we go. Which one do you prefer? I do like the new foil. I think it looks good. Still love the Venge. But yeah, so that's about it for this really quick video. Let me know what you think of this new bike down below. Also let me know what you think about the new Shimano 105 Di2. I'm thinking I might make a video about my thoughts on that. And just before I go, I thought I'd leave you this, because we're striving for all this aero stuff, which is great if you look at the bike from here. Other than these enormous red shifters that look like they catch the wind to me, this all looks nice and smooth. But at the bottom of the bike, it's like a big bag of spanners, isn't it? There's no way that's aero. But what really does annoy me is this front brake hose that comes down into the front brake caliper, just sitting there in the wind. That doesn't make sense to me. That should be behind the fork leg, surely, or even in the fork leg. But that's not right. That's not aero, and this lot down here is a bit of a joke, really. So I do believe in all the aero stuff. Of course it makes a difference, but there is also a bit of smoke and mirrors, because at the end of the day, these manufacturers want to make money. So there we go. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, then do, and go and check out the website, bikotic.com. Until next time.